Once, in a distant village, there was a Zen monastery known as the Center of Tranquility and Peace. This place was a refuge for those who lived tough lives and sought serenity. The wise leader of the monastery, an elderly Zen master named Master Haruto, often preached that the greatest power lies within self-control. One day, a young man named Rio, who had come from a big city, arrived at the monastery. On the outside, Rio seemed to have everything. He had a successful career, a small apartment, and a circle of friends. But deep inside, he was restless. He had achieved everything in the material world, but he felt a void, a sense of emptiness he couldn't explain. Master Haruto welcomed him and said calmly, "True power is not found outside. It lies within. Real power," he continued, "is in the ability to control yourself." Rio's first lesson came early the next morning when Master Haruto invited him to the riverbank. "Your mind should be like this river," he said. "If you can calm your mind, you will see the world more clearly." Rio had always been used to controlling everything in his life with speed and precision. But as he sat by the river and watched its smooth flow, he began to realize that true power comes from within. Master Haruto explained that, like the river, his mind must flow calmly, free from turbulence, in order to see clearly and act wisely. For the first time, Rio understood that emotional disturbances can cloud judgment. By learning to remain calm in the face of life's challenges, he could find his strength. A few days later, Master Haruto led Rio to a bamboo forest. "The true strength is like bamboo," the master said. "Bamboo bends with the wind, but does not break. Life will throw many challenges your way, but if you bend and adapt rather than resist, you will be stronger." Rio watched the bamboo swaying in the wind. The bamboo did not fight the forces of nature. Instead, it allowed itself to bend and adapt. Master Haruto's words struck a chord in Rio's heart. Life often challenges us, but the true strength lies in our ability to adapt, not to resist. In that moment, Rio realized that by being flexible in the face of adversity, he could navigate life's storms with greater ease and strength. Days passed, and Rio found himself growing stronger and more centered, but something was still missing. One evening, Master Haruto invited him to the meditation room. Inside, there was a mirror. "Look at yourself," said the master. Rio gazed into the mirror. He saw a man who had struggled, who had failed at times, but also a man who had grown. The master asked him, "What do you see?" Rio replied softly, "I see someone who has failed, someone who isn't enough." Master Haruto knelt beside him and said, "No, I see someone who has not given up, someone who has persevered despite the difficulties, someone who is still seeking the light." Rio's eyes filled with tears. He had not cried in years, but at that moment he understood something deep within himself. It was not about perfection, but the strength to keep going, no matter the obstacles. When Rio left the monastery, he no longer felt the emptiness he once had. He had learned that the greatest power is in self-control and inner peace. The outside world could change, but his ability to control himself, to remain calm, flexible, and self-aware, was the one thing no one could take away from him. The strongest warriors are not those who defeat others, but those who conquer themselves.